Hello, dear friends. We shouldn't fear tyrants, and they should fear us. Opinion piece, wealth transfer, reset button, ground zero, cosmic clock, parting paths, incredible times, change of course, redistribution of assets. Let's start. Geopolitical and economic events are connected to a global process of change called the Great Wealth Transfer and associated with ideas like Gisara, according to Holly Celiano and Will Barney. They argue that there is a cabal with global financial and political influence that is losing power, and that some media outlets and public figures are aligned with different interests within this conflict. The video connects this to the idea of a massive wealth transfer and the implementation of Gisara, presenting it as a process of debt cancellation, the creation of a sovereign wealth fund, and asset redistribution. These events are interpreted as part of a larger process of global transformation or reset, in which certain negative actors are being gradually defeated and control of the wealth system is shifting. They describe this as incredible times, with the defeat of the enemies of the people worldwide. Both presenters interpret negative media coverage and the stances of some public figures as signals to identity who is loyal to or an enemy of the people. The overall message is that an era of financial and geopolitical control is coming to a close, while a new economic order is emerging. In their view, the cabal's control over the world is weakening. All of this is part of the global financial reset. Full thought summary. The third global party is about to end after the defeat of the dark side. Confidential negotiations between Eastern and Western secret societies have culminated in a mutually beneficial agreement. A new agent has been appointed to release funds for the benefit of the planet. His name will be kept secret for security reasons. Although it may be a few months before a public announcement, an agreement in principle has been reached, according to sources within the societies involved in the negotiations. The agreement came after the biggest defeat in the history of the dark side. The White Hats didn't participate in this defeat because they refused to fight for the bad guys. The entire television circus is about to be dismantled, and many will go to jail. Reset. A reset of the cosmic clock is underway, following the end of a great cosmic cycle, the Platonic year of approximately 20,800 years. This process is associated with a shift in poles and consciousness, which acts as a reset mechanism, marking the end of the Iron Age, characterized by separation and density, and giving way to a new frequency linked to a Golden Age, according to Sanandoa Botschaften. The shift in poles, whether physical, magnetic, or related to consciousness, acts as a reset button. The current generation is witnessing the return of the cosmic clock's hand to the Golden Age after 4 cycles that have lasted over 100,000 years, which explains the current intense resistance from ancient forces. Humanity is not only advancing, but also entering a completely new frequency level, corresponding to the Golden Age. The new international order acts as a catalyst, pushing people to choose between dependence and technocracy, or freedom and individual responsibility. This pressure serves to differentiate between those who align with one orientation or the other. This explains why the resistance to the old order is so intense and vocal. The actors of the new world paradoxically function as unconscious agents of awakening within this narrative. By taking repression to the extreme, they force each soul to make a choice. The frequency of empathy, solidarity, and unity constitutes the operating system of the Golden Age and represents a return to the natural order of all things. This moment is presented as a zero point where transformation of consciousness occurs, interpreting current events as part of a return to a higher state after a period of darkness. The shift in consciousness has already begun, and we are asked to trust the process. This is not a fall, but a return. This vision disempowers fear by reinterpreting the new international order as a teacher driving transformation. We are at the 0 point of time. The new order is merely the dark backdrop against which the light of the Golden Age can be seen. The current pressure serves to separate the wheat from the chaff, not as a punishment but as a frequency. Those who remain in the all for me mindset will not be able to energetically enter the new earth. We are returning home to service to others. Iron is broken so that gold may shine. Autonomy. Alpha Warrior maintains that relying on influential figures to find truth or spiritual guidance is tantamount to surrendering one's sovereignty. He states that the matrix system, called the matrix or the machine, not only seeks to control, but also to recycle human beings and return them to the cycle they are trying to escape. Truth is not passively received, but rather constructed through friction, questioning, and discernment. There are voices that confuse or manipulate, and voices that guide or stabilize, but he insists that neither should become people's ultimate destiny. True freedom in an information war consists of not depending on leaders, developing self-sufficiency, and being able to maintain one's own voice amidst the noise. He argues that the system is designed not only to control, but also to keep people within a cycle they believe they have escaped. He asserts that truth is not received, but rather constructed through questioning and discernment. It points out that there are different voices, some that confuse or manipulate, and others that guide, but insists that none should become the absolute authority. The article emphasizes that even those who help are merely stepping stones, not the destination, and that basing beliefs on others implies losing personal sovereignty. He concludes that true freedom in an information environment is achieved through self-sufficiency and the ability to maintain one's own judgment, even in the face of multiple influences. Ufology. Dr. Michael Salla links ancient history to current events in the Middle East and chronic fatigue syndrome. Representative Eric Barlison claims there is a starship too big to move that could be included in upcoming UFO files. Disclosure is imminent, according to Proletario. Greenland is a double-edged sword. President Trump has the power to deactivate the spacecraft under the ice in Greenland, 480 kilometers long, It's unclear how he'll do it, because the consequences would be catastrophic, especially for coastal populations. John Solomon says President Trump is about to begin declassifying documents at lightning speed in an operation he calls hypersonic clarity, which will lead to a major conspiracy craze. Representative Tim Burchett reveals he had a 40-minute conversation with President Trump about UFO disclosure and discusses the demonic element during an interview with News Nation. In quotes, "I am a born-again Christian. I'm on the forgiving end of that spectrum. I'm not worried about the demonic element. I hear people say that, but there is no reason for demons to be doing this. I feel the material, or whatever it is, that we have out there, we don't really have it anymore because they outsourced it to those corporations." Breaking news. Brent crude oil rebounds 5.64% and surpasses $95 a day after renewed tensions. Iran will not send negotiators to Pakistan while the blockade continues. Trump convinces Russia to support the dollar. Russia has just dropped a bombshell, a full return to the dollar in exchange for a huge energy, oil, gas and minerals deal. The BRICS de-dollarization is crumbling. China is worried about it. RFK Jr. has triggered a political earthquake by confirming that conspiracy theories were not theories, but the truth hidden from the public. Trump gathers evidence to use against Obama. The financial wealth is moving to Florida and Texas. The wealthiest 1% are transferring their income to states with no income tax. According to Elon Musk, South Africa has more anti-white and anti-Asian laws than it had anti-black laws during apartheid. The Lebanese government has imposed a total ban on all activities of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps within Lebanese territory. Maria Corina Machado warns that postponing the elections in Venezuela is more dangerous than accelerating them. Venezuela will rejoin the global financial system. Delcy Rodriguez asked the US to lift the sanctions imposed on its central bank, arguing that their removal would help the country's economy and contribute to increasing the income of citizens and workers. Venezuela will rejoin the global financial system. The IMF warns of increased global borrowing needs, which could reach $50 billion due to growing pressure on sovereign debt, energy supply disruptions, and economic instability, all of which are affecting financial stability worldwide. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.